Hello everyone. Welcome to Tips, Techniques, and Tutorials with me, Shannon Gorton. I'm going to share in a couple of groups right now so that everyone knows that I am live right now. And today is Thursday, and I wanted to hop on and share a few techniques with you guys today. And let's see, there we go. So hopefully that shares. I'm gonna double check in a couple more spots. Please hop on, say hi, and let me know what the weather's like for you today. Let me know if you are creating something awesome, and we will get started. So for some reason, I guess I have to do a refresh. It's not working. There we go. Okay, so a couple more spots here. Yeah, sometimes when our weather is wet and rainy, it's a little challenging to get decent Wi-Fi, and it's kind of a bummer. So I'm gonna make sure that the volume is down, and I'm sharing in a couple of groups so that we can see. There we go. And it's interesting. There's so many changes with our YouTube, and let's see, hopefully I have shared it in all the groups that I'm sharing it in, and that looks good. So hop on, let me know what the weather's like for you today. And today we are going to be creating some journal pages, and the journal pages that I wanted to share with you guys are pretty simple. They're very basic. You don't need a ton of supplies, and I'll go over some of the supplies that I use on a regular basis, because it's very simple to get started with a few basic products and supplies. So we are going to go over to, I just want to make sure this is being shared in all the right places. So let me know if you are in my two admin groups, creative journaling and creative journal makings, and the tags, embellishments, and ephemera groups. Okay, so few of the basic supplies that I like to have. I like to use archival ink. It's not water-based, it is waterproof. These are nice because when you start adding layers, you don't want your stamped images or your backgrounds to start bleeding in, right? Or to start fading. So I like to use the background when I want the images set, if I'm working in journals, etc., the waterproof inks. And I've got the Ranger archival inks and also the Ranger distress archival inks that I like to use. Okay, and I have my little water mister I like to use to soften up the paper when I need to. This is a little tool that will distress the edges. It's roughs them up to make them more vintage looking. And I shared in a previous video that I do like to keep ribbon on it, my hand-dyed ribbon. It's colorful and I don't lose it. This is a craft squeegee that I like to use. Comes in very handy if I'm doing stencils. Also for inking as well. I like to have my washi tape handy. This is a great glue. This is Art Glitter Designer Adhesive. It's a liquid, and I do enjoy using that glossy accents for creating a glossy finish. And then I get this as a subscription. It's the mixed multimedia matte. This is really good stuff. I use this a ton. And I use my score tape, Tim Holtz snips, Teflon bone folder. I like these scoring tools and paper piercing tools. They come in very handy with working with the journal pages and whatnot. A mini spatula for spreading gel and different mixed mediums. And then some good scissors. I like to, these are great little handy things to keep beside my toes to keep them organized. These are the recycled. I'd love to repurpose as much as I can. These are the little mushroom containers from the produce department, and they're pretty heavy duty. I like to keep my acrylic and my re-inkers, sorry about that. My ink blending tools and extra sponges. And what else? Okay, so we're good. So today I wanted to start off with textbook pages or old book pages. So what I do is I'll rip out a page from a textbook, and I just kind of go along and give it a background over the text of some color, usually a vintage color is what works for me. So then I've got this, and I did both sides just in case. And then what I like to do is, if you want, I tore it out so that we can see the roughed edge, which is basically what this does. And depending upon the thickness of your paper, you can use this to distress the edge, or you can tear your paper to give it that distressed edge look if you want. So what I've done is gone ahead and inked this up. I like the rough look. It tends to give it a more vintage look, if you will. So I'll tear this up quick. There we go. Okay. So it almost looks like an old map, an old document, if you will. Okay, so then what I like to do is get my stamps, and I'm going to, these are a neat set of stamps from Stamperia. And I like this border, or this corner stamp here. So I'm going to pull this one off, and I'm going to use my coffee. And these are really sticky. So I'm going to ink this one up. With coffee. Give it a nice firm push. So I gave it some in the corner. Go in the opposite corner. Push. That one didn't come out. It's dark. It's okay. That's good. I'll do it again. There's many ways you can stamp or ink up your stamps. You can pat it down. You can set your block down, your coat block. You press it. Okay. So I'm gonna go over this one again at the bottom, see how it will fare. There. Today I decided I wanted to use some of the Lavinia stamps. They're a really nice stamp that I like to use. This is my little stamp chamois that I like to use to clean off. Using the waterproof or alcohol will stain your stamps somewhat, but if you go over them quickly, as soon as you're finished stamping with them, there's not a lot left on them. Like I said, those are super sticky. So I like to keep them all together. I use the washi tape to keep the plastic together so that it keeps them neat and clean. I just put it around on the side so that I can open it up if I need to. Okay, so then I wanted to use this image here is really sweet, I like this one. This is a Lavinia stamps. They're from the UK. I love these stamps. They have nature scenes and fairies and some animals. So that I would go. There's the larger acrylic block here. Press that down firmly. And I like to use the archival ink, the peeled paint. So I'm going to ink this up. These are great for traveling. You could take these on the road and do some really handy tags or start the journal pages, make some envelopes. I like the small carrying case for the new distressed inks. So press that down firmly. So it adheres to the paper. Oh my goodness, that one didn't go very well, did it? Let me try this one here. Trial and error. I guess it worked on a different page when I had, what you call it, the darker ink. And that's what it's going to require, a little bit darker ink. And this is how we learn. Let's go with the ground espresso or the black soot. Maybe that will show up better. I love doing lives. So I know Facebook and YouTube, all the social media platforms are changing a lot of the way that they are doing things nowadays with posting your links and subscribers. So everybody's learning how to do things in a new way. Like YouTube is saying to go live. It's interesting. I think I need to have a soft backing on here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get my phone. That I use. They like to have a soft backing on them, and it's a foam piece because when you push on them, they like to have that behind them. So I'm gonna try it on this side, and I'll show you what I mean by that. These guys like to be pressed into the paper so that they can soak up the ink. and I forgot that piece when I got myself set up today. So I'm gonna ink this up really good, and I'll show you now that it has the foam underneath, it's really going to grab this ink because it's gonna press it down. That's really interesting. It worked when I did it at the other table, so I'm not sure, but let's try a different stamp, because normally these work really well. There we go, clean that off. And I can set up really quick at the other table and then jump back on in a little bit. But for now, I can go ahead and finish this out with a different type of stamp. And we have a number of different stamps that we can use to set the example here. So I'll get the block out. I'll use some of the Stamperia stamps, and I'll set up the Lavinia stamping at the other table, because then that way, I don't know if it's because it's lower and I can press firmer. So let's see. Because these are all brand new and they should be working just fine. Yep, see, that one worked good there, and we could try it without the foam piece and see how it goes. Yep, and that works fine too. So it could be that I'm not pressing quite hard enough on the Lavinia stamp to get it to go. You have to press it very firmly on those. Those are great stamps. And I will set up at the other table that's lower so that I can get better leverage on there. Sometimes I like to stamp off the paper so it does look like I have completed that vintage texture throughout, right? I'm just going to do a quick journal page and give it some more around here, right, and stamp that off. And let's see, I picked up some really cute Ranger ink embellishments, and also have some of the ones that I have designed, and I want to incorporate them with this page as well. Now, I started keeping my scraps in a big shoe box that has a flat lid on it, and it's super handy. It's really super handy to have. One of the other pieces that I like to do when I am working on vintage and making the vintage pages for the different journals is I like to add the darkening around the edges so that it just pulls it together. It finishes it off very nicely. I like to use the brown, and then I like to go back in with the black, and I'll show you how neat that really finishes it off when I do the two-step process of vintage the papers. And I like the ends to curl up a little bit. That's just a little quirky thing that I like with old papers. So you can see what comes in. And go with the black soot. And I do that a little bit differently. I go in and I do this while it's in my hand very quickly. and just work my way around. Hi everybody, I just saw the notification. It just like popped up and there's a whole bunch of people watching. I'm so glad everybody hopped on. This is really fun. Thank you. It's good to see everybody here. Got Lynn, and Katie, and Teresa. This is awesome. Yay. Okay, so have I gone all the way around? Not quite. All the way around. There we go. So I did a little bit of a quick clip this morning to show you, oh my gosh, the sunrise. Just before the sun came up, the sky was so beautiful. So you can see here that I've done the brown, right? So I used the archival ink, the coffee, to go around the edges. And then I came in again and followed up with the black soot. So if that's the kind of look that you like, that's a neat way to antique it, make it a little bit more vintagey, if you will. Make it up worse as I go. So there. And I did some on the other side as well. Not as much as this side did though. Okay, so next up I wanted to share with you, a lot of times when I make these backgrounds, before I put any of the images on, I will just really inundate the page with different stamps. Like I would have carried this all the way through for the back, but since I'm going to make this a journal page, I wanted to keep it clean from a bunch of images. But I will take the pages that I make and I will scan them in. Now this one I printed on a vellum paper, and I changed the color on the printer because it was originally brown like this, right? So I changed the color on my printer and I made it a really pretty lilac color, if you will. This can be used on cardstock, on vellum paper. I can make tags, you know, and layer this with my other papers. The possibilities are limitless to what you can do once you start scanning in the layers that you start creating, because you can just use them 10 different ways. It's so much fun. I just love to think of new ideas for the things that I create. So we have, let's get my little box here of scraps. It's literally a box full of really awesome goodies. And oh yeah, don't forget, the other day I posted a video of these really awesome little folio pockets that I made for my art journal, that I wanted to keep the bits and pieces that I want to use in my art journal together. So what I did was I made a video on how to create these little folio pockets that were very quick and very easy to put together. So be sure to check out that video. It's also posted on my YouTube channel, Shannon Gorton, under the playlist for tips, techniques, and tutorials. Also, you can catch the awesome word embellishment video that I did. It's about a 14-minute video on creating the really neat word embellishments. I talked about the really cool papers and whatnot. I think it's a beautiful day right now. It's supposed to warm up just a little bit, not a lot, but just enough to give it some pretty sparkle in the rain that's drying out. Oh my goodness, we've had so much rain here, but it's really helping the flowers to grow. One other item that I wanted to share is sometimes I will buy pre-made tags if I don't make them for out of manila folders, and I put them in the tea water and tea dye them or coffee dye them, and then I use while they're on the rack in the oven, I'll like spritz them with some more tea dye, and it gives them a really great look, if you will, and antiques them up. So I thought, how fun is it going to be? I can scan these in and print them on cardstock and then repurpose the different layers. Like I can stamp on them and I can add the different embellishments and just have a lot of fun with creating the multi-layered tags from the tea dyed. Now, this is very similar to a heavier manila folder stock. So you could absolutely buy yourself a box of the inexpensive manila folders, cut the tags to the size that you want after you tea dye them, right? So you could just trace them out, or you can use a scan and cut or the Cricut. So that was another idea that you could do with that. So I find these random books in the giveaway cart at the library, and I just say that's fine. I can use them for making some awesome pages for my journal. So on this one, I would like to use a bit of this here, and I want to chunk this up a little bit. We're gonna make these a little bit more vintage looking and distress them a little bit with the little tool, so it's gonna get a little crunchy, if you will. I'm gonna rough these up real quick. I don't want them to look like they're right out of the box, so I'm gonna rough them up a little bit. Then I'll go back in and I'll use the blending tool and give it a freshening of some potting soil. That's the color that I used right here, the potting soil and the coffee. Because I want that to look a little bit on the oldish side. Vintagey. So put a little bit over there in that corner. Just randomly put some glue in here. Right, put that in. I did want to add a little bit more color, and I think it would be really pretty to have either some orange or some pink and some sparkle. I'd like to have some of those beautiful butterflies flitting around. I like that very much. And I'm going to do the same thing with another tag and just tear some bits and pieces off. So it doesn't look like it's a brand new tag. So I'm planning on doing a series of the tutorials and getting over my fear of being on this side of the camera. I'm a hobby photographer and I love to take pictures, but I'm not so comfortable being in front of the camera, if you will. So but I love to teach. I love to teach and share. And you know what? Did not go in and antique this up, so I can do it without making too much. Yeah, there we go. So I have two items that I wanted to add. I brought over those little pieces that I wanted to use as well. And I have another little card here that I thought I wanted to try. And kind of give it a little bit more color, and it didn't really go with what I wanted to use. So I also talked about how I made my own little tags, and how you can use the manila folders and make them with the different stamps and the inks that we have available for our creative inventories. So I just wanted to fill this up with some pretty bits and pieces. And I do like to use some of the fun pictures from catalogs and different mailers that come through. In the mail. We got some great catalogs here. I just cut out some of the ones that, you know, strike my fancy and get my attention, that I think are really pretty. So that pops in a little bit more color. I want to give another little piece to the front of that tag. And I had another little piece that I wanted to pop on. I don't know if you can hear the birds outside. I have such lovely songbirds that sing throughout the day. Just love those little guys. So be sure to put the little pin in your glue when you're using the glue so that it doesn't dry out. And so this is one way that we can do this. And I want to put some flowers on here. I really want to have some of the paper flowers, how they really pop up pretty. I like to put a little bit of sparkle on the paper flowers too, but I usually do that after they dry, and then I help to reshape them and form them. So I can put a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of color on those ends that are folded up. I can do that after they dry. So let me know what you think about doing a couple of the journal pages for the junk journals or the art journals. Let me know what you think about doing those. And see if that's going to be a good idea to add in a few of the different techniques that I like to use for creating the art journals. I actually want to have one of the fun live event workshops. I think that would be a lot of fun. So let me know if there's a certain technique that you're interested in trying out or learning. I have a lot of ideas on what I wanted to share with making some journals and how that's coming about. So going to do is, this is going to be a little on the tricky side. I'm going to go ahead and do this corner. Put some glue down here. And I'll hold that down so it can set for a minute. I'll probably have to put a little bit more glue to get that to stay. And I thought about using one of their really pretty butterflies and giving them some of the glitter on them as well, because I think that would be really pretty to give them some of the glitter and the sparkle. Just fold the wings up a little bit, give it some dimension. So we've got just like a really quick little journal page. I would probably go ahead and add in the rest of these flowers. I feel like I want to have some more color over here. Maybe pop that one on here with the little polka dots. Oh, got a little smashed. Definitely will come in with the glitter, either the glitter pen or yeah, I think that looks pretty. I'm gonna definitely come in and sparkle those up so they really pop, right? So I did want to keep this one pretty short because I do want to come back in and do a different technique a little bit later this afternoon. So I wanted to make sure that I hopped on and shared this with the groups. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please do check out my YouTube channel at Shannon Gorton on YouTube. And it's the playlist that is tips, techniques, and tutorials with Shannon Gorton. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and please subscribe. As soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can go live from my phone. So that is a goal that I have made for myself. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Wishing everyone a beautiful and magical day. Happy creating. Love and hugs. Bye.